For this.
Oh my god.
All
All
right,
right,
we
Jay,
are
my guy.
live, bro. We are live with the
We're
man, the
live.
myth, the legend himself. One of Toronto's up and coming top realtors in the space. Specializes in rental, specializes in residential, and possibly some commercial. It is Alvir Tang Hall, bro. Oh my gosh. Tell us about you,
Yes, sir.
Alvir. Introduce yourself.
Studied real estate management at Ryerson University, downtown Toronto. Graduated, then went to real estate college, got the license. Jumped straight into the industry, 5 years of sales. Salesperson, broker. Now broker of record in my own small office.
Nice.
Been good, man. Your boy survived.
He's Chad.
And we sold a lot of houses, met a lot of people, and it's been fun, bro. It's still going.
What made you get into not real estate, but like what made you want to take a sales career path?
I think it all started when I joined my high school business club. Like I was like ready to go home one day, and then some chick just came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want free food and some pizza, some pop, and we got some people here." And I'm like, "Oh, sure." And then I went inside. I think it was Tina. Yeah, I think it was
I don't
Tina.
even remember who
And
Tina
then
is.
and then I just pulled up, and then they gave me pizza and some drinks, and then everyone was talking about business. And I didn't really know much about business at the time, but I was like, yeah, business. And then, yeah, networking's fun. Yeah, that's
Fun
part of it. I
fact.
like networking. Yeah,
Fun fact, I knew Alvir from high school and elementary. So like
yeah.
I've seen this guy go from the origins to where he's at now is just crazy. It's like the trajectory he's on is just insane. Okay, so
Thanks,
you
man.
got into business club. What was it like when you left high school? So like what was your like goal when you left high school? Like do you have any targets you wanted to hit or did you just kind of wing it as you went by?
I really wanted to maximize my time in university, so I did my Bachelor of Commerce and all my studies, but I also did extracurriculars. I did Toastmasters, DECA, I did case comps, I did
Toastmasters.
networking events. Yeah, Toastmasters is they have different branches all over the world for public speaking competitions and collaborative stuff. They're
Did you
pretty
do it in
good.
school?
Uh, eh, what?
Did you do it in school, Toastmasters?
Yeah, I joined Ryerson Toastmasters, and I also
Oh,
did Markham Toastmasters.
nice.
So there's different branches everywhere. So I ran that for a bit. It was pretty good for practicing communication skills and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just kind of like whenever I was downtown, like I'd make the most of it because like my commutes were like 2 hours long getting from
Oh,
Markham
geez.
to Toronto. So I'd always just try to like do a bunch of stuff in the city when I'm there.
So you just like jammed
And
your schedule. You're like, I gotta do all this, like maximize that bus fare
yeah,
for the
yeah,
day. You
yeah.
know?
I had to really get the most out of my $7 bus fare there and $7 back because it wasn't just YRT, it was TTC as well. So
You have to
you know it was a
connect.
struggle.
Yeah, connecting
Yeah, you had to go
buses.
to the Connect, and then the transit lines are crazy, man. I'm blessed to have a car now, but yeah, man, those were some different times, man. But I like the commutes though. You get to take a nap. You never know who you bump into.
Yeah.
You might bump into somebody.
Yeah. The thing with commuting is like it's weird because like one day you're just like quiet on the train, like everyone's like pissy and shit. It's like, ah, yo, move out the way. I gotta put my bags up. And then it's like the other days, it's like you'll see some stunner on the train, like 10 out of 10, like the hottest girl you've ever seen in your life. Or you'll see some like business dude that makes like millions of dollars in sales online. He's just chilling on the bus. It's just like
There's
it's like a
all
mixed
walks of
bag.
life. Yeah, all walks of life, just on the same thing,
There's
just
weirdos there
on the way
too.
to Toronto. Hey man, Toronto's a spot. Everybody's trying to do something in the city, right?
Facts.
So it attracts all walks of life.
And speaking of the car, like you've gotten really, really proficient driving downtown. So like, tell us about like how you got. I know you parallel parked on some fucking like super incline road. There's like no gap between the cars. This guy like freaking like by the hair of a thread. This guy parallel parked his car, bro.
I get a lot of practice over the years. I'm also take a lot of inspirations from Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious.
Which one? Who
Don
from
Carlos
Tokyo
is my
Drift?
boy, family for life.
Who?
Family. And yeah, we just get a lot of practice in. I know my car's limits. I know my car's limitations and what it can do, and I'm just so comfy with it. And and I'm in, you know. And honestly, it takes a lot of practice. Like, it's what I do ain't easy, man. People can't just drive around like how I do in Toronto. You
Oh
gotta get
yeah.
used to it. Like, there's Toronto driving, and then there's like driving in Markham. You know, it's different, right?
The
You're kind
other
of
thing
more
I
chill in
noticed.
Markham, but in Toronto, you gotta like be aggressive with it. You gotta
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
lane.
yeah.
You gotta be smart with it too, or else you're gonna be like late. Like if you like let everybody go ahead of you, you're just gonna be late. You know, so you gotta know when to take the lane. That kind of stuff you just have to get a feel for it by doing. So it's kind of hard to say. You gotta just be in that. You gotta be in some rush hour traffic to know rush hour traffic. You know, and
Yeah.
then you just gotta know.
I know when we did showings and stuff, like you even knew where to park for free downtown. Like you found a bunch of these spots where it was just all free parking. I'm like, how the fuck do you even know where this is, bro? You're like, oh, I've been here before.
You're trial and
Figure it
error,
out now.
man. You know, there's a lot of realtors that quit because they can't find parking in the city, or they just hate driving around, or they don't know how to do Toronto like that.
You know,
And I'm
like,
like that.
yeah,
That's what it is. You know, some people don't know. They don't test it out. You gotta park here and there. You gotta figure it out. You might get a ticket. You never know, man. And you know what? The parking enforcers in Toronto are crazy. All right, I'm not even gonna. You already know they're crazy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy in Toronto. They'll just bill you like 50, 100, or $50 to $100, whatever. Like out of nothing for nothing. You know, like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
parked in like some like random little corner, minding your own business, and they'll still slap a ticket on you. So
You know,
you
one
know,
time,
Toronto's Toronto. It's big money for them, I guess. But
yeah, they make a lot of
you
money
know,
off tickets.
you gotta when you see a good spot that you know is like safe, you just gotta remember that spot, you know. And
Yeah,
then, luckily for me, I remember a lot of spots. I guess you can call it experience.
yeah. Like I remember one time I maxed out. I was using a company vehicle at like one of my previous jobs, and I went to this parking lot. It said $15 for the day. So I go to the meter, I put in the money, right, and then all of a sudden I see $89 checked out on the machine, and apparently
You
the
got
max,
finesse.
yeah, the max on that machine, that $15 was for the fucking parking lot beside the one I was at, bro. So I ended up paying $90. But the company's like, since it was on the company card, they expensed it for me. They're just like, yo, don't ever do that again. I'm like,
You're lucky.
fuck.
If I get billed, I get billed. There's no
Oh, it's
company
out of
expense
pocket for you, right? Yeah.
out of pocket.
You expense
Every time you
yourself.
can save, you gotta save, because
Facts.
that's gonna eat at the profit margin.
So that's it for real estate. If you were deciding like a brand new kid out of college and you're like, because like you see all these shows and shit, right? Like selling OC, fucking Manhattan, owning Manhattan or whatever the fuck. Like there's always, I think there's a big trend in people wanting to be real estate agents. So what are some of the things that people have an idea about, but they don't know the realities about with the job?
I think like anything worthwhile doing, like you're gonna have to go through a lot, and it's really a matter of if you really like what you're doing, you love what you're doing, and you're willing to go for it, right?
Yeah,
Like for example, people that do sports, like swimmers, you really gotta love the chlorine. You really gotta love being in
facts.
that water.
That's fucking cold
Boxers,
too.
you really gotta. A boxer really has to love getting hit and hitting back. You know, like that's the thing. Boxers like giving in, and I think for real estate, you gotta be really gritty. You gotta really, you're talking dealing with people in high pressure situation. You gotta like talking to people. You gotta like meeting new people. You gotta like going long distances, traveling. You gotta like long hours. You know, there's so much to it. I would say, but like anyone trying to do high performance in anything, it'll be like similar themes.
Yeah,
It's real estate, like it really, depending on the type of real estate you do, but like at the core of it, you're still gonna be like communicating, negotiating, and discussing with so many different people on a daily basis. And it's really like important to. I think that's why it's good to have business background. That way you're like organized and you're smart about it, and you conduct yourself nice, and then
yeah,
you can clear through multiple files. It's like a little secret about real estate is it's like if you get good, you gotta learn how to juggle. Like you get like one deal here, one deal there, and then you gotta learn how to like do multiples. A good agent can juggle a bunch of deals and keep that cash flow going, whereas some other agents may only just have one ball or two, and then they're just chilling for the year. Well, really, it's a matter of being busy with it.
keeping your pipeline
So
full. Yeah,
yeah, you gotta be busy with it. That's why it's like you gotta really give yourself that full time. You just gotta go into it, and you just gotta go for it, right?
yeah.
Easier said than done, but that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, the other thing is like obviously like I told you my dad used to be a real estate agent, and now I get to see like the modern real estate like market through your eyes, obviously because we work together and stuff like that. So it's like back in my dad's day, they used to door knock and like actually hand out fucking flyers and cards like every to like they didn't have like social media and shit when he was trying to promote his name like that. They used to have like bus ads, like those like big ads on the fucking like when you're driving
Yeah.
by Toronto, you see that Reese's Cups fucking ad. They have a realtor guide there sometimes. Like what would you say it's like sourcing clients now versus back then?
Honestly, it hasn't really changed because at the end of the day, it's you got to talk to people, and it's really just a matter of getting to people in front of more people in different ways. Like, I don't want to dog on saying that door knocking doesn't work because it does. Like, you're physically meeting people, and you're gonna talk to somebody, and that's a look. That's
Yeah,
actually more important. Like to get a look, like okay, you can use social media to get a look, but it's a little bit more convoluted because you haven't physically seen them. Whereas you jump straight into door knocking, you're face to face with somebody. It's like really live, right? Like you gotta know how to handle situations. You gotta know how to talk on the phone. You gotta know how to text on the phone. You gotta know how to talk in person. You gotta have your presentations. There's so many things, and it's like that's why again I say it's good having a business background. You kind of be organized and kind of have a feel for these things. At the same time, you kind of just jump into the business and you just gotta get used to it.
true.
Flyers and door knocking and all that stuff is good if you're farming local. Social media, if you're going all over the place. It really depends on where you're catering and where you're trying to focus. Are you trying to just build a local community, or are you trying to like grow something in the city or somewhere else? Like it really depends on where you're going. Um, yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
True. And I see like you talk about boxing and stuff like that. How does that incorporate into your life with like your busy schedule and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I like to use boxing as a nice anchor for my some of my days.
An
I would
anchor.
start off my day doing paperwork, and then I go into my boxing class, and then I run around do showings. You gotta find a balance that works for people. You know, I think it's important to work-life balance, and I think fitness is super important. As professionals, we gotta be on top of our game, mentally and physically,
Yeah.
and you know, because you're gonna get tired. You're human. You're gonna get stressed. You're gonna be tired. It's important that you keep yourself healthy and that you give yourself the right fuel and you give yourself rest, and then you tackle the next day. And it's important to integrate. I think it's part of the components of being successful
Yeah.
is to take care of yourself and is to go work out and train and improve. You know, it can't just be money, money, money. It's got to be like your mental. Like your mental is important, the physical is important, and then you know all the above, bro. There's so many things to it.
Yeah. So like we talked about health, we talked about wealth. What about the relationship aspect of like life? How are like your relationships, like family, friends, things like that? Like maybe a partner or something like that. Tell me about like how you fit that into your schedule alongside the health and
Yeah,
wealth part.
I always try to make time for weekends with my family. I
Nice.
try to go to church
Time block?
regularly and hang out with my family as well when we can. Those moments are so precious, right?
Yeah.
And my partner, I always do my best to make time to see her when I'm in the city.
Nice.
And you know, we always try to go on, you know, dates here and there and make time for each other. I think it's really you gotta want to make effort, you know, and when you know
Yeah.
when you want to make effort, it shows, and other people can feel it, and that's important that you're, excuse me, putting energy into this world, good energy, intentionally trying to, you know, meet with people for the fun of it, just to see how they're doing. You know, I think that's so important to just kind of, you know, enjoy life and share these moments with those that are important to us, right? Because we only have so much time to do all this stuff for what, right?
Yeah.
So
Make it
when
count.
we do have time to spend with the fam and your partner, like it's important to really just put the phone away and be with them and enjoy that moment, whether it's like weekend or whenever free after work. You know,
So you crave
every
that
little
like
bit of time is good.
authentic like communication. It's like no phones, no tech. It's like, yo, I'm with you right now, right? Like that's the kind of
Yeah,
vibe you're going for.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because I know like I've seen even on your Instagram like you have a good eye for like picking out these like niche like restaurants and cafes. I've seen on your I think I've gone with you a few times. You took me to this bomb ass pizza spot. I think it was what's that place called? Something
some
something.
New York pizza or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's like something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Levetto. That place
Avocado.
was fucking bomb,
Oh,
bro.
that
You
one.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
The one on Queen Street.
They gave us
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chili oil. They gave us like they gave us the nicest fucking pizza
Oh
ever,
man, we
bro.
gotta
That
go
was so
back, bro.
good.
You're
We
making me
gotta go back. I
hungry.
know.
Making me hungry. We gotta
Remember,
stop this interview.
and
You
when you got
know?
when you got me this when you got me the when you got me my unit when I was like searching for a unit like even the one I'm in now, we found that freaking kebab spot, the donor kebab spot. Oh my gosh, that
Bob.
was so good, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We just like end up finding the best restaurants, and like those are those moments, bro. It's like everything's just like you're in the mode like working and doing shit, and then we just chill and we're like, yo, we're done work. Just fucking chill at the restaurant, enjoy this fucking bomb ass food, and like fucking just live it out, you know?
Hey man, I'm a fan of giving myself the right fuel. You know, give myself good fuel. You gotta eat good. You know, we work hard, play hard, eat
Yeah.
right. You know. So
So
whenever we see a good food spot, we just go for it.
true. If someone asked you, like let's say they have trouble with rejection, or they're a bit more introverted, right, into the space, but they really want to try and break out of that. They want to like change their odds by like they know they're introverted for a time. They want to know what would be the 80/20 you would give them. Like this is the main thing you should do to kind of fix the situation you're in.
You just gotta talk to people. You gotta do it.
Is there a
You
way to like
gotta you
dip your feet in the
gotta.
water kind of way to do that? Like for example,
There. Yeah,
volleyball or some shit.
you could do groups. You could do sports. You can do networking. There's so many different ways. There's different levels to it. You can maybe start local. Maybe talk to your family, practice on them, and then go talk to your neighbor. I don't know. Like everybody needs to just, you know, everybody has introvertedness and extrovertedness in them. You just have to choose to use it. I think it's really important. We're all humans. We all have the ability to do these things. Just don't be like 50, 100 year, whatever, 100 years old and regret not just talking to those people that you could have just talked to.
True.
Like, you know, we're all capable of talking to each other and making something out of this. And really the ones that are willing to do it are the ones that get more out of it.
Yeah. What about also another question about customer profiling and things like that? So, you know, a lot of these sales businesses, there are people that'll buy, and there's people that you know will never buy, and they're just there to waste time or just like to kill some time
Yeah.
to do a showing or something. How do you know when someone's like, all right, fuck this, this is a waste of time? Like, how do you decide that, and how do you
Yeah.
decide, all right, I got to put in energy into this client?
So you ever talk to somebody and you're having such a great convo and you're really enjoying your time with them?
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah, yeah. Now think about the opposite of that. Imagine you're like with somebody and you're not really having a good conversation with them. You're not really enjoying their company, or there's just a vibe that's not there, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll feel that. Like you'll
That's-
feel it, and that's how you know that you shouldn't work with them.
Oh, that's
You know,
sticky
like you'll feel
vibe.
it. You'll
Yeah.
feel it when you feel and you know that they're not with it with you. But you can feel it when you feel like they are with you, right? They're vibing. Oh, they're liking those places you're showing them. They're liking the way you're talking to them, or vice versa, right? And you never know. Every day you're gonna see different people, right? And not everyone's gonna love you, and like that's not. And realistically, not everybody will love you. It's what it is. Like, you're gonna there's people that will like you, and those handful of people that do like you. That's what's up. But like, not everybody will vibe with you. So you have to find the ones that do vibe with you. And you gotta find people that's willing to like, you know, work around your schedule and be, what do you call it? Collaborative with you about these things, right? Like for me, for instance, I take on clients that go in the afternoon, evenings. I don't do morning clients. I'm not. It's too early for me. I got
Gotta make it work
I got
for you,
paperwork
right?
and developers and stuff, and I reserve my mornings for that.
Yeah.
Unless there's a really really ideal sale client, then I mean, whatever, fine.
All
But
right.
if it can be helped, I'd prefer to like take people out later in the day, right? So everybody's got their preferences and stuff, and yeah, everyone's different communicators. Yeah.
True. I want to know something. This could be a real treat for anyone listening. I want to hear your experience from the horse's mouth about selling your first unit.
It was sick. I was so happy. I made stupid money. It's like that stuff when you're like playing Monopoly and then you like somebody lands rent on you and you have like a bunch of houses on it and you just like want my money and you're like, yeah, give me that money, and
Facts.
then you got and then you're like, yeah, I did that. I got that money.
Like walk us through that whole process. Like how did that start? Like how did you like go from never selling a house, like the 0 to 1? Like I've never sold a house in my life to like fuck, I just made all this money.
You gotta just do deals. You do smaller deals and then it becomes bigger deals and you keep getting better until somebody's like, yeah, you're the guy,
Yeah.
and then you do the big deal for them and then done. But like, that whole sequence you can already imagine takes a bunch of work, right?
Yeah.
Like an amateur boxer doesn't just jump into the or like a first time boxer doesn't just jump into the ring with the world champion, right? Like they're gonna go to training classes, they're gonna intro class, training class, they work their way up to sparring, light sparring, heavy sparring. They might join different gyms just to get some background. Eventually come back to it, maybe go amateur, then maybe go pro, and then you know what I mean? Like it's a whole sequence, right?
Yeah.
Like anyone that's trying to get good at something, there's so many things to learn and there's so many things to do. And like it's doable. Like we're all human. Like if you really want to become the best chef, you can become the best chef. If you want to become the best Pokemon catcher, you can become the best Pokemon catcher.
That's me,
Like
that's me right there.
it's whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, and whatever moves you. When you wake up, what's gonna make you want to do something, right?
Yeah.
And then you gotta really want to be good at that, right? So I think it's important, especially for every man out there. Go find your mission and just stick to that mission, and just do it good, and then the rest will follow.
Facts. All right. Where can people find you, Alvir?
At Alvir Homes. Hit me up at. I'm kidding. It's fine. I'll do the self promo later. But yeah, I got Instagram, Facebook. What is it called? I used to use YouTube, but I'm more on TikTok. And
you're on TikTok.
yeah, I'm on TikTok. Honestly, just call me, text me, whatever. You'll get my number from somebody. Get it from Kane if you need it.
Facts.
I'm always happy to talk real estate or just anything. And yeah, man, business is good, and it's always good to keep talking to more people, meeting new people, keep that ball rolling.
Yep. And if final words, if you were to say, if you want the people watching this to take one thing away from this interview, what would you like them to take away?
I would want them to take away that anything worth doing in life, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it if you make it worth it. And that's like regardless of whether it's real estate or engineering or cooking or anything. Like you can be really good at anything you want if you really put yourself into that. But like that's like a choice somebody has to make for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And you got to figure it out. You got to figure out what skills you need to be good at that. What kind of contacts you need, what kind of resources, and there's so much things to think about. Like, what does it take to become the best chef? You got to get the best tools. You got to go to the culinary school. You got to, I'm going on a tangent, but specialization is important, is what I'm saying.
So pick your lane and stick with it, I guess.
Mm.
All right. Alvir Tanghal, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me, man.
Take
It's
care.
a pleasure. Cheers.
Peace.